for them, everyone to understand. And also, if you have any questions, please save it or you can type it in the chat box. We will have a question answer session at end of this after the presentation. So please save your questions to ask at the end of the session. First, we can start the meeting now. The first agenda is about introduction about GCSMR, Global Center for Siddha Medicine and Research. I would like to welcome our president of GCSMR, Tiresiva Sailam, to come and say a few words about GCSMR. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tamarai. Good morning to those in the US time and those good evening to the people who joined us from India or in between. Welcome. First of all, I want to welcome you all to the webinars, the periodic webinars that Global Center for Siddha Medicine and Research has been conducting since its inception. And I also want to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Punyamurthy Nadesan. As most of you would have heard by now, he has been doing a lot of work. His background is veterinary medicine, and he was, I guess, the pioneer to introduce herbal medicine to treat livestock and other poultry and stuff like that. And because of the work he has done, he's been conferred upon Padma Shri by the government of India, specifically by the president of government of India. And we are honored and glad that in a short notice, he has agreed to come and present his findings, his experiences. At this time, let me give a few introduction about our organization. GCSMR is really a new organization. It's about 6 years old. It started around 2019. It's registered as a nonprofit organization in the US, as well as an organization in India, independent organization in India. Both of them have the same name, Global Center for Siddha Medicine and Research. And we are a nonprofit organization. 100% of the funds that people donate is used for activities of the organization. And one of our major activities has been webinars. During COVID 2020, 21, 22, we almost had monthly webinars on, there was a lot of interest, and Dr. Selva, and we used to have an allopathy doctor as well as a Siddha doctor giving their perspective of how to go about their daily lives during the pandemic. They were very informative and very well received. And since then, we also done a number of other activities. In the US, we collaborated with Morehouse School of Medicine, and due to Dr. Rajagopal Sridharan, who just retired from Morehouse School and is on our board of directors as well as a scientific advisory committee. Due to his efforts, Siddha has been introduced as a elective subject for final year medical students. And as part of that effort, 3 to 4 students have been going to India. We have had for the past 3 years, students have been going and spending a month both in Chennai as well as Manipal Academy of Higher Education. As you also know, MAHE, which is Manipal Academy of Higher Education, under Dr. Arul Amudan's guidance, we have signed the MOU to set up a, when I say chair, Siddha chair, but basically a lot of activities, Siddha related activities. And as part of that, outpatient department was established. We also established a Varma course for healthcare professionals. And recently, about a month back, a 5-bed Siddha inpatient facility has also been started at MAHE. What we have plans for 2026, consistent new webinars, topics. And Dr. Selva Shanmugam is coming and will be as part of the Global Health Initiative at Morehouse School of Medicine, will be giving a presentation on March 13th. And when he's here, we hope to have 2 wellness clinics, weekend clinics. It'll be 2 days of intense wellness workshops, which will be held in Metro Atlanta as well as Dallas, Fort Worth area. We are also trying to develop videos, professionally produced on wellness videos, which will be based on a subscription model. And we hope to publish a book next month on on art of conscious living based on Siddha wisdom. This was authored by Dr. Selva Shanmugam, which probably most of you know, and we hope to publish it in April 2026 when he's visiting the US. Some of the other activities, this year we kicked off with a newsletter, I should say, and this will be happening every 2 months. We have also reconstituted our scientific advisory committee, and we want to publish a lot of review articles. We also want to create a database. This may not happen this year, but at least the steps will happen. And more consistent and new webinar topics. As I mentioned, we are purely, all of us in the US are volunteers, and we need more volunteers, both here as well as in India. Please contact us. And we run purely on donations. Our organization, as I also mentioned, 100% of the funding goes to, or 100% of the donation that we receive is used for the organization, our website, as well as activities at Mahe, and some of the books that we already released in Chennai. Everything is based on donation. And today also is going to be a new area that we are touching upon. So far, all our webinars have been based on human health, but today I think we are going to hear for the first time how Siddha can also help livestock and other activities. So with that, let me stop. We'll take up questions towards the end. In the interest of time, let me hand it over back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thanks for the brief introduction for what GCSMR stands for. Let me introduce Dr. Selva Shanmugam, who is already well known to all our members and viewers here. He is going to introduce about our speaker because he has a big history, and it's a more privileged to have him this time. So, Dr. Selva Shanmugam, please present your introduction. Thank you. Dr. Selva, we can't hear you.
Okay, able to hear now?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Able to see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you, the Secretary of GCSMR and the President of Global Center for Siddha Medicine and Research. So today I'm very, we are honored to learn from Dr. N. Punyamurthy, Padma Shri awardee, whose life's work represents a rare integration of science, tradition, and field reality. He is not only a veterinary scientist and professor emeritus at Transdisciplinary University of Health Sciences and Technology, but also a practitioner who believes that knowledge must walk with farmers, not remains confined to laboratories. So Dr. Punyamurthy's foundation was shaped early through the schooling in Tanjavur and Pundi and professional training at Madras Veterinary College. From the beginning, his learning was not limited to classrooms. He recognized that a farmer who has carried the cattle for 5 years often carries 360-degree understanding, while formal educational may still have the blind spots. This respect for traditional form became central to his scientific journey. Academic journey with a purpose. With over 45 years of experience, Dr. Punyamurthy has served across premier institutions including the Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animal Science University, TANUVAS, and the National Dairy Development Board. Yet even within these institutions, his focus remained clear. Knowledge must useful, useful, and accessible to the farmers. The core expertise with the ground reality. His expertise spans ethno-veterinary medicine, antibiotic-free livestock production, veterinary pharmacology, large animal practice. So what distinguishes his work is that every scientific idea was tested not just statistically, but socially on the farms with the farmers in the real conditions. So next is building capacity, not dependency. As a founder director of PG Diploma in Ethno-Veterinary Medicine, jointly run by TANUVAS, that is a Tamil Nadu Animal Veterinary University, and FRLHT in Bangalore, Dr. Punyamurthy focused on capacity building. The aim was not to replace the modern medicine, but to equip veterinarians and farmers with the safe, evidence-based natural options, reducing the antibiotic dependence on the cost. The knowledge beyond the institutions. One of his strongest belief in that true field knowledge cannot be required from the without leaving the institutional boundaries. By continuously working with farmers and field workers, he validated local plant-based remedies, simple preparation using leaves, barks, roots, and household ingredients, remedies that sustainable and non-destructive to the biodiversity. So this science that listen before it speaks. Scientific validation and safety. Dr. Punyamurthy scientifically validated more than 35 herbal treatment protocols for cattle diseases. These remedies demonstrate wide safety margins, protection of gut health and microbiome, functional pharmacological effect rather than the symptomatic suppressions. This approach aligns deeply with the time-tested Siddha and traditional knowledge. Between 2016 and 17, this is very, very important factor of Dr. Punyamurthy. That is a 2016 and 17 alone, over 1.2 million cattle were treated using natural antibiotic-free formulations under his guidance. This scale of field-level applications rooted in safety, affordability, and effectiveness is possibly unparalleled globally. It proves that traditional knowledge, when scientifically guided, can operate on population scale. Interdisciplinary research model. Dr. Punyamurthy's work is deeply interdisciplinary. He is actively collaborated with botanists, pharmacologists, microbiologists, veterinary clinicians. So, because advanced solutions in the animal health cannot emerge from the one discipline alone, this transdisciplinary thinking is now essential for sustainable agriculture and One Health model. So international exposure and representation is very, very essential for recognizing the ancient wisdom. So his research work is recognized globally as an expert in ethno-veterinary medicine. Dr. Punyamurthy represents India in the Netherlands, Portugal, Ethiopia, and Uganda. In these international forums, his work demonstrated in the India's traditional knowledge system, when validated scientifically, can guide global livestock sustainability. So the research, leadership, and the translation scientific value. For the over past 16 years, he taught veterinary pharmacology and research methodology while simultaneously practicing bench to cattle translation. His 2025 research publications on the functional remedies represents a first of its kind translation model moving seamlessly from the laboratory principle to a large scale of field applications. Working within the government system, never easy, his consistent scientific rigor ensures the real policy relevant outcomes. So at this juncture, I would like to invite Dr. Punyamurthy before going to the speaker. Dr. Punyamurthy reminds us, science must serve society. Tradition must reflect it, not the scientists alone. Farmers are co-researchers, not beneficiaries. He stands as a bridge between the farmer's wisdom and modern science, between local practice and global relevance, and between the sustainability and scale. Dr. Punyamurthy Nadesan of Tamil Nadu is being awarded the Padma Shri for pioneering scientific ethno-veterinary medicine. Over 4 decades, he integrated Siddha medicine and livestock knowledge with modern medicine, validated hundreds of herbal protocols, reduced antibiotic residues in milk, lowered farmers' cost, and strengthened the rural livestock, transforming the animal health care into the scalable publications relations. It is honor to listen today to Dr. N. Punyamurthy, whose life's work teaches us that future of animal health lies in integration, humility, and evidence-based tradition. Now, the stage is open for Dr. Punyamurthy. Please, sir.
Thank you.
I'll quickly interrupt about housekeeping rules. Please kindly mute your phones so that we can hear to Dr. Punyamurthy without any disturbance. And also kindly don't leave the meeting in and out. And if you're coming in, please mute your phone. And remember, this is a very important webinar, so we would like to go uninterrupted. எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். இதை வந்து நம்ம தொடர்ந்து சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். எல்லாரும் உங்க போனு இது வெப்சைட் எதனா திறந்திருந்தீங்கன்னா மியூட் பண்றது எல்லாம் பண்ணுங்க. இந்த டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ் இல்லாம ஐயா பேசுறத நம்ம கேட்கலாம். இப்ப ஐயா பேசலாம். நன்றிங்க ஐயா.
Is my slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Please make it as a full screen, sir.
Full screen, that I'm trying.
In that case, okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So greetings to all. So I'm delighted to be part of the efforts by Global Center for Siddha Medicine Research. The brain behind such activity, I just recall Dr. Devanayagam, whom I have met briefly in 2002 in one of the meetings in Tamil Nadu, when I didn't know much about it. Later I learned so many things, and his legacy lives on, and I'm thankful to all those who are putting their efforts and all their sincerity in carrying that forward. So with that memory recall, I would like to say hello to everyone. And this is an opportunity for me to memory recall of what has happened in the last nearly 24 years, the 25th year of my journey, and why it started. All those things are part of this presentation because it needs some mentioning about it. I'm basically from a farming community with animals. So my grandfather told me to undergo some studies which would help farming community. So I naturally selected science group, and I ended up in Madras Veterinary College, one of the very famous and what do you call this, third veterinary college. First is Lahore, second is Mumbai, third veterinary college in the Indian subcontinent, started in 1903. So it has got a long legacy of both British as well as Indian stalwarts in the veterinary profession. And it has got many fuss as an institution. My alma mater, Madras Veterinary College, and Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animals University was born in 1989. And my subject of interest, pharmacology, has got great doyens, and many of them, Velayudan Iyer and many stalwarts like him, and then Dr. Jayasundar, Dr. Gopal, and K.C. Raghavan, Dr. Gauri Shankar. There were many people who helped me to learn this subject fundamentally. So I was in US and Canadian universities in the year 1997. So particularly I was in Harvard, I was in Tufts Veterinary School on the US side, and I was in McGill campus near Montreal City, and then I went to Guelph in Toronto. I spent time with the pharmacologists and also medical scientists, and my friend Dr. Manivasagam is there in Boston now. He's a East biologist from Alberta and a PDF from Harvard. So I have many friends working there. So I had a glimpse of what's going on there. So, but there were some issues which I could not ignore. One is the looming in the horizon about the antimicrobial resistance, for which there was a need for a solution or something to be done about it. And then the need for a research which addresses the local problems of our farmers back home. So these were the requirements. So I started off going into some of the texts. One of them is Siddha literature from the existing thing. And many of these things did not lead me very clearly because we have no formal training in that. So it was really a very tough situation for me. But over a period of time, I realized that something must be done. And it started off like, when you want to do some work, you have to start somewhere. Luckily, I had animals at home. Our family, extended family, used to have minimum 4 or 5 cows. 3, 4 of them are already milking. And so enough problems to deal with, particularly mastitis. So within 2-3 years, I was able to get some glimpse of actually dealing with the subjects of interest, cows at home, and then problems on hand. And what actually needed was some solution. So traditional healers meetings were attended by me, Moolige Utsav by FRLHD at American College, Danida by Government of India at Pillar Foundation, Madurai. And on and off, I used to always travel with traditional Vaidyas, both graduates of Siddha medicine as well as the traditional healers. In large numbers still available. The dynamic system is being carried over their shoulders. But I could not get a recipe just plucked out of any book or anything like that, because situation warranted many very critical thinking on the part. One is conservation component of it, not to use bark, roots, and other rare plants, no toxic plants. So it should be only aerial parts of easily available materials, identifiable with pharmacological action, possible with therapeutic effect. No toxicity is the first thing I have to keep in mind. And then there should be a clinical effect. So it went on. So we'll go through the journey quickly. So before that, one of the major issues, which is not catching up the scientific community as a whole, and many people in particular working in biological science, is that the entire globe is connected. That is one thing really missing in most of our work. So I did realize in the course of my work, and that has become sort of the fulcrum for my work, because this interconnectivity is the basis of the Siddha tradition. Everyone knows about it. But in practice, we are all isolated, disconnected. So I think my work in a very simple way, I would put it very humbly that it's a very very small component of on the fringes of this knowledge system I am working. It's an ocean by itself. And so I never claim to be having a deeper understanding of the Siddha quotes, but I can appreciate the Siddha saints understand, like, Veru paru, thare paru, minchina kal, mella mella, parpam senduram paru. So when they mention about it, they talk about simple things, try first and then go further. Prepared or highly specialized medicine was very easy for me to think about. So I stuck to the aerial parts, not even the roots and barks, only the aerial parts of the plants and also the spices. So this is, in short, that was something which gave me some clarity about what I'm going to do. I'll be just dropping few concepts. I don't want to be really coherent in that sense. I'm not taking class for a particular group of students on a particular topic. So this is the way I learned here and there, getting connected with so many institutions, individuals, groups, within the country and outside. Whenever we travel, we used to face so many questions. So that's how I learned every moment. So I'll be just sprinkling about some ideas so that some of the listeners here who are participating today will pick up some clues and they can pursue their own interest with these things in mind. So please forgive me for that. So many people think killing a microbe is part of our job on a health perspective. But unfortunately, the entire globe as a biomass, if you see, 80% of it is microbes. Now we are very clear. The gut-brain axis means earlier we thought only some putative neurotransmitters were part of it. Now we know there is always, has been always, and will be always in future also, the microbiome. They only rule. And so whatever we say, we can never remove microbe from it. We cannot even think of killing them or removing them from the scenario. So virtually the earth belongs to the microbes. So another issue started maybe 10 years back, earlier, and then in 2017, WHO came out with a very clear indication that the need for restraining the use of antimicrobial substance to mainly conserve them for future. We are losing it out very fast, and we are really in a very, very bad situation. Many people do not seem to understand when there is no control over sale and use of these medicines, and everybody who has got access to it are giving injections, thinking probably they are doing good to the patient or the patient owner. In our case, as far as the veterinary science is concerned, they think they are doing good. Unfortunately, it is not so. So every organization, you name it, WHO, FAO, our World Organization, Animal Health, UNDP, everybody, they talk about awareness, antimicrobial stewardship, but nobody gives out any solution. So that is the area where really we are working. Our team is working on these lines. So there is no, what do you call this, people thinking about existence of antimicrobial resistance. It is there for real. And there are so many papers indicating its enormous danger looming on the horizon that we should never lose sight of it. Antimicrobial resistance is there for sure. It is no more just a perspective or presumptive idea. It's a real problem. So we have to be really seized of that. And another area people think is every organelle in the cell or every tissue for that material totally disconnected. The linear model, as Fritjof Capra always tells, that a linear model is very bad for health as such when you want to combat. So this holistic view, people think is not part of science, but unfortunately, holism doesn't deprive of us any scientific adventures on these lines, but it really adds to it. So if you take mitochondria is a remnant of the past. And you take chloroplast for chlorophyll synthesis, it's also from the past. So one organism entering into another organism over millions of years, they get adapted, and you never say that they're all different. The communication between animal and plant kingdom was very, very much questioned even in the 70s. And people did not believe in symbiosis. There are other things like that. But, science has got always different views. But one day they have to all listen to what nature tells them. So this is what youngsters should realize, that you cannot differentiate things just to deal with them for the curative or therapeutic purposes. So diagnosing and giving a proper medicine is part of pharmacology and therapeutics, but you cannot isolate things and see in a unity. So they are all united and interconnected. So one of the important points people can realize that in the case of honeybees, just a matter of microRNA reduced level in royal jelly makes out of thousands of worker bees one becoming a queen. So that differentiation of one plant microRNA is able to make out such a difference in an animal, so higher form of animal. So in our own understanding, nowadays people are telling don't use the word botany, zoology, biology. Please use the word ecology, because everything is interconnected. That's what they mean. They don't say don't use the word in the sense ecology is a word comprehensive of all these things. So that's the idea. And then, as I told you, government is very much worried about containing AMR, so they're making all efforts. So medicinal agroecology is another word which is somewhat closer to the word One Health. Oh, I must tell, especially the budding Siddha researchers and Siddha practitioners, we always say food is medicine, but people think it is not part of the scientific work or experimentation. But you see, one of the worst issues right now affecting the human health is because of the bad food. So food is very important. I'm sure Siddha has got a greater understanding of what is a good food is all about. How an individual, one man's food is another man's poison is normally an observation made in the modern textbooks also, but they don't know what they really mean, because I have some understanding about this through our Vaidya Punyamurthy in Tanjavur, who is a traditional healer. He has got a greater understanding of how every individual with a particular personal complications are managed by slightly modifying their day-to-day food preferences and usage, and a little bit of oil in their body. So that is a great message for everyone to understand. Things are very simple after all. So this medicinal agroecology, what I say to the whole world is, without food, there is nothing possible. So we make our agriculture across the globe livestock-centric rather than chemocentric, which will make the microbiome of the soil, which is going to supply the microbiome to other plants, animals, everywhere, the insects. So that we have to keep intact. So in that sense, as a responsible veterinarian, we want to produce not only clean milk, meat and eggs, but also the droppings, urine or dung or pellets from sheep, goats, poultry, cattle, buffaloes, whatever you name it, free from veterinary chemical residue, so that these residues, when kept in check, the microbiome of the soil is very safe. So that's the idea. So you see the water bodies, soil, whatever natural resource we have are having bio-magnified accumulated chemicals over quite a few decades. And unless we put a stop to that, the resumption of good quality soil microbes is really a serious problem. One should be always be worried about it, because it's already too late. We have lost so much. So you see, government of Tamil Nadu and the other side, government of India, and every state I have traveled, they have got their own plan for organic farming. So everybody talks about it. The soil, keep the soil free from chemicals. But what's happening on the ground, it should happen in a very fast way. Otherwise, we will lose so much for the humanity and for the country or the state which is involved in this. This is another area which will, because nothing is isolated, insect crisis. We are losing the insects in such a large scale. It's mind-boggling. People call it is insect crisis. If we are not going to have these insects, no pollination is possible. Only few crops like wheat, maize, and maybe paddy to some extent will have natural pollination by air. And all other crops and fruits, everything, your chocolates, everything will go into oblivion. You will never see any of these things without insects. So insect crisis is a serious thing. So they are all interconnected. This is how I showed you the picture. If you use chemical in one direction, it gets connected to all other. So Siddha has always mentioned about these things very much in perspective, keeping all living things in one sphere. That's what we call One Health. So there is a joint One Health plan by FAO, UN, and then all these organizations, WHO and OHA. In May 2026, they are going to come out with a new plan, revised plan. So 2 months back, we had in India a webinar on Global South. There were 80 people involved. We were part of the 80-member group from 19 countries. We have given our thing in that. Ethno-veterinary medicine has been taken as an important evidence-based proven model from India. I hope that will find a place in this joint action plan. On the right, you can see the nature positivity from the Wageningen University. They are telling all departments should work, irrespective of their specialization, all should work towards nature positive food production. And we want to revive by at least 2030 the biodiversity to some extent so that we can live along. So when I just start my work, I say it's a very, very important knowledge system because it is accumulated over maybe thousands of years by millions of people. So this accumulated wisdom, and it is there in every part of the world. But Deccan Plateau being a very stable, geologically stable place, and with over 7,000 years of trade with other communities in the world, and a very convenient weather or climate you call in the long term, like neither too hot, neither too cold. We have got a very rich biodiversity. Western Ghats, one of the oldest mountain ranges, and we have a long habitation of human inhabitants in this part. So all these made Siddha as one of the oldest traditions with not only resources but also interaction with other communities. We have a very long legacy of a very strong system. So what is the role of a veterinarian in this case? This is that I want to start with my real talk today. How veterinarian is trained is a very interesting thing. We are having ruminants, non-ruminants, simple stomached animals. So you have the companion animals, dogs and cats. Even if you say poultry, there are so many chicken, turkey, quails, you name it. There are half a dozen specialized. And within the canine and feline population, so you've got so many different breeds. One is different from the other. And you take horse is totally a different type of animal, and swine. Sheep is different from goats. Buffalo is different from cow. One cow in the north, Sahiwal, is different from the one in Umbalacheri in Tanjavur, Kangayam in Congo Belt. So like this, though a veterinarian is well trained to have a comparative knowledge about anatomy, physiology, pathobiology of so many things, and we are not known outside the group. And in fact, in US and many other countries, many biomedical researchers are veterinarians from India, and many of them are from Madras Veterinary College, I can say for sure. And they are doing a great job working on these areas. So as a veterinarian entering into this, we have a greater understanding of these ruminants, either in the wild or in the domesticated conditions, how they behave, how they eat. So this is one side. So as a veterinary pharmacologist, I come to that here. So when you say xenobiotics, generally people think it's all only toxins, xenobiotics, anything going from outside into a system, whether it is an animal or a human being. Some of them are classified as food. The rest are maybe drug or toxicant, depending upon our perspective or its effect immediately on the living system. So if we say food, they follow the energy metabolism, whereas things which are not part of the food web, they get into drug metabolism. So in the sense, chemically, they are conjugated and sent out. So this is, but the sad point is, now people are telling we are using at least 2,000 chemicals in our food processing every day by an ordinary household conditions. Through food, we are exposed to 2,000 odd chemicals. So we know which is, we don't know which is food and which is drug or chemical. So this is an area which everybody should be aware of. It's not a secret anymore from the environment as well as in our food chain. We have so many chemicals added deliberately. So when you take a veterinarian from the animal point of view, the herbivory makes the plants release more phytochemicals. Evolutionarily, probably animals contributed more towards expression of these phytochemicals. So this is the knowledge our ancestors picked up by seeing the behavior of the animal. After all, when we are saying that we have evolved from primates like that, and we also should have the same knowledge as primates have been having it, and right now they are having. And as I told you, this microRNAs, especially for the Siddha doctors, the Chinese papers have come out very clearly. These decoctions have got decoxtosomes, which are capable of entering into the system and making impact on the biological milieu, and they can bring about the effect. Whenever we say Kabasura Kudinir, Nilavembu Kudinir, people think these decoctions cannot be considered very serious therapeutic agents. But now papers are coming with clear indications, with state-of-the-art technology. We are able to find out these decoctosomes are effective in bringing about the changes for biological requirement. Whatever it's being claimed, we can prove it. So this, my friend, Dr. Michael Huffman, who is working in Kyoto University, Japan, he has been working on the self-medication behavior in primates, and he has published elaborately on how these primates pick up specific plants which are not required for nutritional purposes, for specific like deworming, or just want to get rid of something unwanted, or just for some supplementary nutritional purposes, not exactly the major nutrients. All those things are indicative that they choose all these things by taste, texture, smell, and all these basic. So we also should have developed all these things in the course of our evolution. So there is nothing unnatural for a human being to identify these chemicals, and our ancestors given a very clear indication that this knowledge is from the nature. We have it in abundance. On the contrary, in biomedicine, a single pure molecule has been the mainstay, and it has been proven again and again. They are very difficult to be handled with. This ultra purity always causes so many complications like insolubility and polymorphism. But somehow we are not able to get out of that, and we are kept into that silo. So I for one, thought that let us just take a step forward, and that is what we call the translational research. In that, there is nothing new, or we are not completely going away from the usual research methodologies like you get evidence and you repeat the experiment, you get the reproducible results, reliability of data. All these things are part of this, but somebody has made it very clear that you cannot do research for centuries together without any result. So it should be a result oriented work from bench to the bed. It should be used in the clinical situations. So Siddha knowledge system fits in very snugly into this translational research category, and you have so much as a treasure. You can work on this for any kind of diseases, and you can prove to the world that it is effective, and you can develop, create the evidence for it. So as far as my journey is concerned, since 2001, I have been working on only functional remedies. I never wanted to tinker with any molecule or isolation. And I always worked with the target species. Being a veterinarian, we have our own cows at home for mastitis, diarrhea of the calf. So all these things was possible. And then after some time, realizing that they are clinically effective in a standalone mode, we went for in vitro and in silico models, and we have published papers. So this systems biology approach is very important. At some point of time, you can go forth and come from, because there is no linear way of doing things. You get some data, you try to do some phytochemical analysis, try to put things in that order, and then come back and you modify. Because for our reproductive system, I think myself and Dr. Satish, who is currently a basic science dean in Madras Veterinary College, we worked for nearly 12 to 15 years to standardize a series of natural products in that order, with ultrasonography, color Doppler in target species to find out how effective they are. So this takes some time, but there is no linear order as far as this work is concerned. We have to go forth and front and come back. So it started with documentation, dex reference, phytochemical analysis, and then in vitro, in vivo studies, some preclinical research in lab animals, which I have done the ICR network program with my colleagues, and then clinical assessment, field observations, and of course, again, in silico reverse pharmacology. So we call that as a whole, as a systems biology approach, which I have followed without knowing all these things initially, but I put these things in place once I got the clinical success in the functional remedies used in target species. So this is how our work, you can have a glimpse how we started visiting places, collecting information, talking with the community who are actually going to use this. You know, we have two components to be dealt with: the animal and the owner, the community as a whole, and the herd of cattle or flock of sheep. Something it's a very, very unique situation for a veterinarian in the field. So this year is declared by FAO as the International Year of Pastoralists and Rangelands. So we have to consider that millions of people are having livelihood through pastoralism, and this is one thing available in Tamil Nadu. So Ilse from Germany, a very famous veterinarian working with Gujars in Rajasthan, camel group. A breed is a cultural rather than a biological or technical entity. If you want to conserve a breed of cattle, you conserve the community, support the community, they will conserve the breed. It's the idea behind it. So we have got very lovely things across the country. There are so many communities who are working with sheep. And in Ethiopia, I have seen camels are kept in 200, 300 in number. Some group, they have donkeys in that number. So this is a pastoralism one should know, because they are the fountainhead of this traditional knowledge, because they have been living with animals for thousands of years. So this is one person whom I interviewed in the year 2001, who has been living with animals for 40 years. On the right is the Ankole cow. When we visited Uganda, we saw their beautiful horns. In our tradition, Tamil tradition, there are clear indications in Sangam literature, and they have a very wide knowledge of the plants and their uses in animals and human beings. So Siddha, Matu, Vagadam and other things, they have got extant references to such knowledge system. Just for reference, telling you that they are all available. Just to break the monotony, I just brought in some animal pictures. So these are all the conditions. I worked until 2016. I got retired in 2017 from Tanuas. So until then, we did all these things in a standalone mode on tele-mode model. Through phone, we advised the farmers and got back the results. And this is how we were able to deal with. Major was mastitis and diarrhea like gastrointestinal disorders. And of course, reproduction is another area. So I will just quickly go through how we went through this for our magnum opus, mastitis, aloe vera, turmeric, and chunam. It's such a dangerous disease, economically devastating disease across the world. So 83% of the antibiotics are used against only one disease, that is mastitis, whether it is subclinical, clinical, whatever way you name it. So I wanted to just address this major disease to save the dairy community. So prevention, treatment, everything is possible under our EVM right now. So these are my cows at home. I started working in 2002, 3, 4, 5 and all. These were our animals which I experimented very freely, combinations. We decided aloe vera 250 grams, turmeric 50 grams, chunna 15 grams is the correct proposition. SOPs were standardized within 5 years. So we'll quickly go through how we went about. So pH, somatic cell count, just culturing organisms. Then this California mastitis test to see whether there is any disease indirectly with the ICR network. Then other clinical parameters, as I told you. And then culture studies, various organisms. Then and in St. Joseph's College, scanning electron microscopy to prove that our preparation is able to destroy the integrity of the microbes for antimicrobial activity, slightly magnified images. And then we went bioinformatics department, Dr. Kumar Sami and team, Dr. Sujata, Preeta, they were there. So we did molecular docking studies to prove whether the clinical effect could be corroborated with the molecular docking studies. We also published that paper. So it all happened around 16, 17. So we had some clear idea that this is working and also showing signs of activity you can fix for particular compound to antimicrobial or anti-inflammatory activity. But the numbers were somewhere around 200, maximum 300 numbers. So we were just wondering at the time. National Dairy Development Board asked us to demonstrate this for the dairy cooperatives. We went to Sabar in Himmat Nagar in 2016. You can see many of the Gujarat farmers are women friendly. They work very hardly for this and they had a very serious problem of mastitis. So within 1 month after my demonstration, they carried out the work in 223 animals. They found the effect to be nearly 90% in acute cases, 89%, and chronic also responded 40% initially, and subsequently they responded nearly 100%. So this data made them to go for a very big project, mastitis control popularization project. So that is what Dr. Shanmugam sir was mentioning about the data we have collected through digital mode. So we have very small holdings of dairy animals, small divided lands, and dependence on synthetics is very difficult for them because many of these compounds we are using from the chemical side for mastitis, they are very good anti-inflammatory and they are antimicrobial. And the problem is when they are affecting the secretory process, milk is also reduced, rather sometimes zero, they say in some cases. So it's a very, very dangerous situation. So we have to conserve antibiotics for only very specific cases, not in every case we come across. So that was a very, very sad situation. So this is where we worked frantically on this line. And you know about AMR, udder is a real source for this. You can see this biofilm formation and the toxins elaborated by the can cut across barriers and they reach to other animals and enter into the water bodies and then plants, and you can see the havoc they are doing. So, and always people think that it's only infectious cause, that is organism. Only 1/3 of the cases, there is some involvement of microbes. The Streptocephalo and E. coli mastitis is only 30%. 70% of the cases, there is no involvement of microbes. There are so many other complicated inflammatory changes happening even without microbes. So what is the fun in using antimicrobials in every case? So it's a question. So the rational, what you call this antibiotic stewardship, should be this is the right time. We follow that. So, and also we create like homeostasis. There is a symbiosis in the udder environment by what you call this uninterrupted unjudicious use of antibiotics, especially the broader spectrum and this third generation antibiotics as the first line of defense is a crime against the ethics of pharmacology. and we cause what a condition called dysbiosis. So when these organisms are in imbalance, so there's going to be a very serious situation. There is no point of return. The animal gets fibrosed udder. Animal worth 1 lakh, giving 15 liters, suddenly becomes worth only 10,000 rupees with no milk. So you see the economic loss and the complete downturn of this situation. So this is where ethno-veterinary medicine really matters. So everybody should understand it is not just a treatment option, it is a social livelihood option. And also about One Health, we are not creating a situation where the super bugs are transferred from one to other animal, and human beings are at great risk rather. So this is what I say. This ethno-veterinary medicine, as I have seen, it's very accessible, affordable, and we can predict the outcome. By using this aloe vera turmeric as per the SOP we have standardized, within 5 days you get almost 90% of the milk. There is no loss in milk. And if you are using antibiotics, the withdrawal periods are there. There is a chances of these residues going into the milk and into the soil, into the dung and urine. Whereas in ethno-veterinary medicine with aloe vera turmeric, there are no such issues. You are very safe. So since 2016, when NDDB entered into the scenario, I was so fortunate to get a truck with their expertise and the state of the laboratories. So it's very, very easy for us to deal with that. These are all case studies from different parts of the country. We are working across the country. The data, 1.2 million, is from these parts of the country, all trainings in the field. We work round the clock on this. The data collected are over 80% clinical success. Empirical as well as individual animal data corroborates non-tamperable data captured digitally by the INAF system of the National Dairy Development Board, Government of India. So you can see the data when it was just less than 10,000 in 17-18. Last June 2025, it is 11 lakhs. Now it is 12 lakhs, 12.2 lakhs rather. We are handling so many other clinical conditions like viral, bacterial, metabolic, reproductive disorders, everything we handle. So this is what the data says and field validation. So just to add, we want to do when veterinarians are directly involved, you can see a slightly increase in the outcome because the SOPs are properly followed. And then we also corroborated with the amount of chemicals in the name of antibiotics and other chemicals purchase has come down. We have corroborative evidence. So milk samples are collected, phenotypic, genotypic analysis done so that this is kept for future, so that anybody can say how these genes have been either down-regulated or kept under check, so that the pressure, drug pressure is removed. What is the outcome? So you can do it 20 years down the line, you can prove it. So it's all put in the repository. So we know the real time, what are all the organisms involved. This is not a one PG or PhD program for 1 year, 2 years, because it's very difficult to carry out research at that scale. So NDDB has got the network across the country. So it was a very welcome thing for me to work on these lines. So these are all the different data we have collected from the state of the laboratory at Hyderabad from NDDB. So these recipes have been translated into 12 languages. And the latest emerging disease, the newcomer, lumpy skin disease, the pox virus, is also being dealt with this and been included and being translated into 12 languages, in videos, in printouts. So everything is being sent across India. So third-party analysis by Center for Science and Environment was carried out by the Down to Earth magazine, Center for Science and Environment, New Delhi, and they have come out with their own data, and it's very much similar to what the data we have got in NDDB. Again, proving that this is a very, very easy way to control one of the major issues, AMR, and also to contain the spread of that, plus make the livelihoods possible with expenditure contained. So these are all the data obtained from them. So whether it is a policy on AMR, whether it's a farmer's livelihood, when you want to do research, everything is there. So Government of India, under standard veterinary treatment guidelines, they have added all our recipes into that. Part of it is published under the FAO's requirements. In September 2025, they released a strategy document on prevention control of mastitis by Government of India. This has got 4 pages on all the ethno-veterinary applications, other related mastitis as well as udder edema, udder pox, everything added to that, all based on traditional Siddha medicine. Everything is being kept into the government document. And this is Ministry of Fisheries. Again, every 2 months they are having a common service center, online mode. About 2 to 3 lakh farmers are given all details, including ethno-veterinary medicine into the. So it is a legally accepted, approved modality of treatment to empower farmers to reduce the unnecessary use of antibiotics. So international agencies have accepted this as a model, and we are working, and there are pending programs to train farmers in Kenya and Uganda. Already we have done in a small scale in Ethiopia and Netherlands. So this is the one where all international agencies are telling that ethno-veterinary practices is a promising alternative to reduce dependence on antibiotics. It happened in April 2025 in Anand. So this is a paper. We continue to work on this. Dr. Vijay Anand under the PG diploma with my colleagues in Orthonaut Veterinary College. We have done the upregulation and downregulation of these pro-inflammatory markers being interfered with our preparation. And this is the latest one, microbial pathogenesis, December 2025. This is one of the papers. Another 3 more papers are come in the in vivo models also. We have proved to the world that aloe vera, turmeric, chunam is not just a combination. It is capable of containing the microbial growth, put them in place. We do not disturb the symbiotic environment, and then also bring about anti-inflammatory effect without reducing the milk, but also saves cost for them. So in every respect, it is a plus win-win situation for all the stakeholders and all the parameters involved. So it aligns with the nature positive antibiotic-free livestock care, and it also broadly fixes with the One Health system, which is required very much in a day-to-day life. And we link either the word medicinal agroecology or One Health, and the pastoralist knowledge also is very much required. We have to bring people together, their knowledge together, and there must be a system to take care of this knowledge before being eroded completely. So we are developing policy frameworks. That is the way we have already brought in something. It may be soon. Already we have made the programs. We are waiting for the government nod. It will be part of the BV veterinary curriculum for the undergraduates. Ethno-veterinary medicine will be part of it. So we are telling it's a biological switch. This ethno-veterinary combination is turning off inflammatory changes and turns into healing. And it also helps contain the microbes. So everything is happening. So before I close, another important preparation. மண்ணின் வேந்தன், மலையின் வேந்தன், கடலின் வேந்தன் மூன்றையும் கசக்கி பிழிந்து கண்ணில் மூக்கில் காதில் விட கடிகி வந்த காலனும் காது தூரம் ஓடிடுவானே. It's a Siddha verse about the 3 kings. One king is from the soil, that is the betel leaves. The other king is from the mountains, that is the pepper. The third king is from the seas, it's a common salt. If you crush these things and use in emergency, you can save the animal from the jaws of death. That's what this Tamil saying says. And we have used in lakhs and lakhs of animals. And this is also an important recipe for the lumpy skin disease. So they are able to protect the vital organs and save the animal in emergency. Generally, people say Siddha work may not work in emergency. This is a typical example where it can also work in emergency. So my friend Michael Huffman, there are so many books across the globe, but they all talk about the theory. Our book gives out the solution which could be used at the farm gate level. So these farmers and veterinarians from Netherlands, and this is, Hortus malabaricus, when the Dutch came, and they made this data, but still it's kept unused because mere knowledge on herbs would not help. Somebody should work on that. So nearly after 400 years, we were called to Lisbon, give a talk about it. So they are waiting now. But we are working in Ethiopia. We have taught them only just mastitis and cough diarrhea, and they are doing it wonderfully well. The government has taken into the policy, and they are going to spread ethno-veterinary medicine across the country. So this is a very important concept. I want Indian agriculture to be livestock centric, and also not only milk, meat and eggs, but also dung and urine free from chemical residues. And Siddha based ethno-veterinary medicine is the key to this movement. And we, with the open mind, and I am working on the very, very small piece of that knowledge system, and the whole lot is there for the future generations to work on. So whatever we have done is showing the positive nature of this system, and we have to do a lot. And I hope this Global Center for Siddha Medicine and Research will take more efforts to propagate this knowledge to everyone in the Siddha fraternity as well as the veterinary fraternity, that we work together. We together make the first steps towards One Health. And then naturally the human doctor fraternity also will join hands, because we are not trying to talk about the superiority of a particular stream of treatment. It's a plurality of the options in treatment, and also seamless fusion, understanding the pathobiology of the disease, how we seamlessly fuse this knowledge so that no damage is done to the patient and to the environment. These are two important components of it. In our case, it's a productivity. It's not simply living. We got to keep the animal productive also. So this is not a one-man show. TANUVAS, Government of Tamil Nadu, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Department of Science and Technology, FRL Bangalore, NDDB, Glom Siva, and many organizations, Seva, Antra, CIKS, Gopals, you name it, we are all working with bees right now in Tuticorin. So we are working with many organizations, MSRF. So the list goes on. In propagation, all these agencies are part of our movement, and it's a very big team. So I'm just taking the lead in this with some commitment to make these SOPs are workable. So I provide the confidence to the farming community and the veterinarians. I want the veterinarians to be responsible and the Siddha doctors to come in line with us. So let us move together, make the world change for better. Thank you so much. So this is the first step towards One Health. Thank you so much. I thank all the president and all the office bearers and who are coordinating with the Global Center for Siddha Medicine and Research. Thank you for the listeners at this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for giving such a exhilarating topic that you covered a lot. And if I have to, this is, I don't know, it beyond words. You highlighted a lot of important facts linking Siddha medicine, veterinary medicine, ecology, and everything. And if I have to make a simple synopsis of the great talk you have given, specific emphasis on important scientific relevance of symbiosis, microbiomes, etc., was eye-opening. As a researcher myself, I'm happy to hear that scientific advancement can be achieved only by working harmoniously across board. So you emphasize this a lot, and I think that's what we need to do as researchers to move forward. I take this time as an integral part of any nonprofit organization. The integral part of a nonprofit organization is donations and donors. Without donations, we cannot take any step forward. So GCSMR has made an important organizational decision. Until now, we have been giving all our videos for free. Moving forward, all our webinar videos, past, present, and future, will be accessed for a small fee. We are working on the logistics to allow access. Please kindly bear with us, and we will send out links to access soon. Stay tuned. And I'm sure you're all joining all the WhatsApp groups and everything. And thank you very much for that. And now the stage is open for questions. Please raise your hands or post your questions in the chat for Dr. Punyamurthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rama. It's a wonderful session by Dr. Punyamurthy, and we are open the floor for any questions. Please put the questions in the chat box, or you can raise your hand for any questions. You can directly ask Professor about your questions. Till now, anyone have any questions? Kamala Devi, I think you can unmute yourself and ask questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. You have given so much, so insightful. I don't know how to thank you, but I know only a bit of whole things you have told. It would take years for us to understand, but at least you have given us a picture of what's going on in the livestock life. I have a question. You haven't mentioned about pets. I understand it's more important to talk about the livestock.
Yes.
But I have again a question. We have a dog. Last year in January, he started having epilepsy. Before he had it like a few times. He was 4 years old. Last January, he had cluster of epilepsy. And he was dead clinically. He was dead. We brought him in coma. I'm speaking from Canada. We brought him in coma, and out of our care and love, he survived. But he's on medication called phenobarbital. So he's
Phenobarbital. Yeah,
he's
phenobarbital.
just.
Yeah.
Thank you, doctor. He's just a vegetable now. He's American blue nose. Very kind, loving dog. Not only to us, to anybody. He's simply a loving dog, But now he's like a vegetable doctor. What should we do? I know it's.
Yeah. Actually, I would like to have a little more. I can just give you some quick remedies because telemode is my favorite thing, and we are working in a big way with pets also. But there is not many people working on the large animals. That's why my focus is on their side. But we do work with pets, and many of my friends and other people having animals also have pets. We work on them. You can get my WhatsApp number. I can even type it in the message. 98424 immediately you can use, as I mentioned, the three kings: betel leaves, pepper, and salt. But the number you just have just 2 leaves and 4 pearls of pepper and 1 crystal of common crystal salt, sea salt. Make a paste, put it in a clean cloth, and then squeeze a few drops into the mouth, maybe once or twice in a day, every time fresh. And then you can, there is a way, generally, these kind of conditions, I am using fresh materials like Cissus quadrangularis, we call perenda in Tamil, and then Vallare, Centella asiatica, and then Moringa, that's Moringa oleifera or Murungai. These leaves, maybe a handful of this, make a fine paste, and then give periodically for the same day. Don't keep it for the next day. You can either give the juice if the animal is not able to eat itself, or else you can make it as a paste and apply over the tongue. These 2 things you can do, and you can get connected with me with the photographs and other details of the animal. We'll try out many other. But this is how I treat many of the cases with simple remedies, and they work well.
Thank you so much, doctor. This Prende and all that, Ballara, every every.
I'll give the details on the. These are all the materials.
Okay.
Depending upon the animals, you say 4 years old, and I will see the animal size. You send me a video or a photo of that animal. We can continue to work on that.
Very good, doctor. Thank you. I just want to add something. Here we are not allowed to have livestock, in urban, like in the
Cities.
cities. But back home we had cows, goat, chicken. Oh my God, the love they gave us. Even still, we are living, we think of their love and, have good time. They're so beautiful. Such a lovely world you are in. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, Kamalamma. I'll contact you directly, Kamalamma, and I'll connect you with doctor, because since we have less time and each and every case is a unique case for treatment and other things, I think it's better to contact directly. Dr. Punyamurthy has told us that he is open for any communication. So don't worry, I'll contact all the groups directly, and also we have given the WhatsApp link in the flyer itself. There are 2 WhatsApp groups, and I have given in the flyer. The flyer is everywhere in the group, everywhere it's been going around. So it has the WhatsApp group. You can join the group anytime, and please request us the number for Dr. Punyamurthy, because there are so many people and so unique cases, and he has to address it correctly and carefully. So we request everyone to contact us at contact@gcsiddha.org, or you can, secretary, I am open anytime. You have my number in the group. You can contact us anytime. We will connect you with the doctor. Next, I would like to invite Saravanan, and followed by him, Dr. Rajagopalan Sridharan. First, Saravanan.
வணக்கம் சார்.
வணக்கங்க.
சார் வாழ்த்துக்கள் சார்.
நன்றிங்க. சொல்லுங்க.
சார், இப்போ ஆக்சுவலா நீங்க உங்களோட இதுல சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க ஸ்பீச்ல, ஆன்டிபயோட்டிக் யூஸ் வந்து ரொம்ப அனிமல்ஸ் அண்ட் எக்காலஜி எல்லாத்தையுமே பாதிக்குது அப்படின்ட்டு, அண்ட் இட்ஸ் அ நோன் சீக்ரெட் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி விஷயத்தையும் சொன்னீங்க. பட் அதுக்கு உண்டான எனஃப் அவேர்னஸ் வந்து கவர்மெண்ட் சைட்ல இருந்து மக்கள்கிட்ட வந்து இட் இஸ் நாட் ஹேப்பனிங். ஸோ அந்த சைடு வந்து கொஞ்சம் உங்களை மாதிரி இந்த ஃபீல்டில் இவ்வளோ வருஷமா இருக்கிற பயனியர்ஸ், இந்த மாதிரி ரிசர்ச்சர்ஸ், சயின்டிஸ்ட் எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணாங்கன்னா ஐ திங்க் தட் வுட் ஹெல்ப் அ லாட்.
ஆக்சுவலா எல்லாரும் இப்ப பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. ICR has come out with a report, and Prime Minister also referred to that report, that AMR is on the increase, and we have to conserve these antibiotics for critically important conditions in the hospital settings. The things have come out in the open, but government is taking all steps, and it's also a very sensitive issue. They want to tread carefully, and they are doing all effort. That is, and it's being spoken in the public now. So awareness, and every state has got a One Health committee with the Chief Minister at the helm of affairs. In Kerala and few other states, I know personally, they are training doctors, nursing staff, and pharmacists how to deal with this menace. Don't give antibiotics without a valid prescription. So stick to the withdrawal periods. So all these things are taken care of a little more seriously now. Things will happen for better soon.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the time and the opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Sridharan, you can ask.
Yeah, thank you. Vanakkam, Dr. Punyamurthy. It was congratulations, and then thank you for this pioneering work, and you shared with us. I also come from a rural area. I'm from Dharmapura district. So I remember living there in my village, seeing so many things. I'm also, since India is an agrarian society, what you have doing is extraordinarily important to be where we are now. I have a lot of friends who went to Madras Veterinary College, who live in the United States doing outstanding work. Since you mentioned about them, I want to share that with you. And then your research, there are a few more comments I want to make. You started the research with your own animals at your home, and bringing to the point of so much has been done already. So that is an outstanding thing. the integrative medicine you gave a new meaning. When we started at Morehouse School of Medicine about this some 10 years ago with Dr. Salvashanmugam introduced at that time, we thought we are confining ourselves to just medical science society. But you brought in a different meaning now, which is very appropriate in terms of taking it to the plants and also to veterinary animals. And I want to bring out from our own thing, from Vedanta, what is said is whole world is one. That includes not just human, the environment. And what Krishna says in Gita as the essence of Upanishad is supreme consciousness. That includes known and unknown. So why I'm saying all of this is I want to put it in perspective. What you have started doing is a phenomenal thing, and it already picked up momentum. And I'm really happy to see where we are now. And I look forward to thinking along these lines, although I just recently retired. I am very active in terms of promoting Siddha medicine. Congratulations again. Thank you for allowing me to make comments.
Thank you,
Vanakkanga.
sir.
Nandri.
Thank you.
And we have another question from Srinivasan Rajaram. Sir, as you said, the GI tract of different species is different, but the Siddha formulation is currently made for human GI tract for therapy. What is your opinion on how the Siddha formulation should be prepared separately for different species? Are the 18 Siddhas documented related to formulation for veterinary use?
See, actually, that's a very, very pertinent question because some of the things I deliberately avoided because I didn't want to go into the details. Originally, these traditional Matu Vagadam kind of things recommended drenching of these preparations, whatever preparation they got from the plants and other apothecaries from the shop. It was all drenched, and for the first one, I said drenching is a dangerous procedure because I am working on telemode. Somebody falls drench, animal dies on the spot, and I avoided. And also, there is a newer understanding that majority of these drugs are absorbed by the buccal and sublingual region. For example, a typical example is we are giving radish, it is Raphinus sativus, Mullangi, for uterine infection. We are just giving one piece of that, about 150 grams or 120 grams. And I allow them to just crush in their mouth and being absorbed. Though the sulfidal compounds are being absorbed, and we have done controlled studies in the clinical settings with one of our colleagues, Dr. Ilamaran, for his PG diploma, and we have found an effective cure in removing the infectious state of uterine environment. So it shows very well that many of these things need not go to the gut to be absorbed. Unlike human beings, it's a highly reductive and anaerobic environment in ruminants. Many of them would never see the site of action. So most of them are buccally and orally absorbed in the region, sublingually and the buccal region. So there is a new kind of thinking with our EVM applications, which I am following differently. So it needs a lot of work to be done to prove certain things, but that's how it's working. We never drench anything. So for Siddhas in Matuvagaram, they don't make it very clear, but I think this application and the Anupanas, they make a lot of understanding, and it's a very big way, long way for me to go into such details, and probably coming together with Siddha fraternity, we'll be able to throw more light on that.
Thank you, Doctor. Does anyone have any other question? Sivati, sir, I talked to you last week from Trichy and you advised this and it was effective and the cow put out the discharge good.
Okay.
I think it's more like a comment than a question.
Yeah, yes, acknowledge the effect of this.
Oh, okay.
recent use. Yeah.
Doctor, I myself have a question. Of course, I am not
Yes.
from a research community or as a science community. Like just as a common man, like by asking this question, that recently there is a lot of hype about like the milk products contains the antibiotics or the traces of the like antibiotics, or it's like genetically modified thing, the milk. So they say like totally avoid milk and all these things. But there are like two sides. They say no, nothing to do with antibiotics. The milk doesn't have those traces. They say only the food the cows eat, they have something genetically modified and it doesn't affect the milk. And a lot of things, theories were going on. So we don't know. It's as a consumer, we don't know whether to buy those milk or not. It's very rare to find pure cow's milk. They say A2 milk and A1 milk, all these things, but commercially, it's very hard to find those milk. So, what is your light on this issue, Doctor?
Madam, forgive me, you are asking in the context of the place where you are living in or from the Indian context?
No, where I am living here. In
Okay,
US.
okay.
I am living in US.
US. Probably if you get hold of some Amish community, you can get milk. They don't use antibiotics. Otherwise, government of US also has made mandatory observation that they have to strictly follow the withdrawal period, and they not send this milk for human consumption. They will just leave it to their calves. So that's what I heard from the friends working there. So there is somewhat, of course, in Netherlands is very strict. I was there in the farm 2-3 times, staying with them, and they are very strict. They test on the spot before getting it from the bulk milk cooler to the tank. They take all the precautions, and the company also once again tests it. But in a country like yours, they have some vigilance over it. Not much of a big problem. But genetically modified things and A1, A2 milk are more of a theoretical background. The Bos indicus, they have more of A2 protein in their milk protein structure, whereas Bos taurus without hump, they have less of that. Jersey cow, a little more of A2. But this is a bone of contention for the individual, because as for Siddha, every individual is unique. So probably with the persons like Dr. Shelva Shanmugam and other stalwarts in Siddha, you just examine your pulse and understand whether your body is likely to have any problem with the milk. Otherwise, what I prefer generally is buttermilk, ghee, butter. As such, it's being used as anupana in so many preparations. So unless there are pesticides, chemical and antibiotic residues, other things not of a big concern. I think in your place, they take care of it reasonably well.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. So, any more questions? If there are no questions, I think we can go to the thank you note by Jay Balan. Jay Balan, are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Tamre. Again, Dr. Punyamurthy, congratulations for your Padma Shri. Really, you deserve it. Again, Vanakkam all and greetings to everyone on behalf of Global Center for Siddha Medicine and Research, GCSMR. I take this opportunity to thank each and every one who joined this webinar on this Sunday. Really, it is mind-boggling. Without support like you all, nothing is possible. First and foremost, I thank you, Dr. Punyamurthy, Nadesan. Despite this extremely busy schedule, he was kind enough to share his vast experience with us today. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing your valuable experience with reference to traditional Siddha medicine and veterinary medicine. I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Selva, who has been one of the root of GCSMR since its conceptions. It is because of him we got the great speaker today. Thank you, Doctor. Donors are the sole source of success for any non-profit organizations. Without donor, we cannot go anywhere. I take this time to thank each and everyone who donated for a great cause. Donate generously, even if it is a small amount. Visit our website for a lot of valuable information, www.globalcenterforsiddha.org. Questions, please email contact@gcsiddha.org. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. It is very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vanakkam all. Hope you had a very good meeting today. Again, we would like to thank Dr. Punyamurthy sir for having this meeting with us within the short period of time. We are so honored to have him. I have also posted all the details in the chat box. Please contact us anytime. And if you want to be connected with Dr. Punyamurthy, please do so. We contact us. We can have your specific details of what you want, and he's very much interested and very much open to all of you to help all those things. I think I know a lot of people were questioning me all the time in the chat box. Once we had his flyer, everyone was asking, "Oh, can I talk to him?" And I know he's really busy. Still, he's open to answer all your questions. So please contact us so we can organize your questions properly, and we should also respect his time too. So thank you all. As our Vice President, Dr. Ramamani told, we heavily depend on donations from all of each one of you. Even the smallest amount does matters to us. So please donate generously. I have posted our website details, and it has all the donation details there. You can donate here, or you can also donate in India. So please contact us. Thank you all. We will be meeting each one of you in a next wonderful webinar. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all. Thank you. And